The default view when you're looking at the map in OnCor is just a bird's eye view straight down. But you do have the option with this View Pictometry button here in the Getting Around tab, and I'm going to click on that, and you'll see just below the map we have a new window that gets popped in place, and wherever your map happens to be centered, which this little purple icon is indicating right now, will tell you, will be what you see at an angle. And I'm going to go ahead and click and drag this little handle so that I have a little bit more space. And you can either use the zoom in or zoom out tools that are here in the window, or if you have a middle scroll bar in your mouse, you can use that as well to zoom in and out. You can also view this at different angles, so rather than looking from the south to the north, you can change your perspective. So if you want to kind of peek around the back side of this house, you can take a look and see that a little bit better. And there's also a whole series of different years that you can go back in time. And if you only want to see the latest and greatest, you'll see right here it's going to tell you what this particular image is representing. So we're looking at November of 2021 was the most recent imagery for this particular area in the city of Canandaigua. If you want to see this blown up more and you don't mind not seeing the map for a bit, there's an option here to open in a new window. And usually what this does is it will open a new browser tab. And you can see now you have lots of room to be able to zoom in and out. And if you decide that you want to go back to OnCor, just simply click that same button again. Notice that it changed to a little arrow pointing down instead of up. And that will dock that right back in place just below the map. And if you want to, you can zoom this, you can move this back and forth. But notice that there's a disconnect as I move back and forth in the pictometry window versus the map, and vice versa. I can move my map over, but there doesn't seem to be a connection or rubber banding between the two. Now there's an option here that synchronize these two maps, and if I click on that, now when I go back to my pictometry window, now one quirk is it did go back in time, so I may need to go back and say, just show me the latest imagery again, and that will refresh. And then as I zoom in, you can see I'm looking at this apartment complex, and now if I zoom in and I move that over, notice that the map also shifts as well. And vice versa, if I move this over in the map, I also catch up here. It's a very handy tool. With the quirk of it, initially when you first activate that tool, it does revert back in time to the imagery that it's looking at. So you may just need to choose which series you want to look at. Now you can also turn some select layers on. For example, we do have parcel boundaries and street names and so on if you want a point of reference, especially if you start rotating the map, it could be very disorienting, so that's a nice way of being able to tell, where am I? So you have tools here to be able to shift around, as well as to be able to move around the map and change the series that you're looking at. You can go way back in time to 2001, 2002. And you also have the option to export whatever you see here on the map into a PDF. So you just click on that tool, and depending on how big an area you're zoomed out to, you can give it a title, my map. And this will create an output file, and there you go. So it's literally whatever if you have layers such as parcel boundaries and streets turned on, it's what you see is what you get, and vice versa. Now, if you're done viewing the pictometry window, you can either click the close button here, or just the whole window that pops up. Either one will work. And if you want it back, you just click View Pictometry and it will pop you right back in place.